Hi, everybody. We're back. Don Clark, Bob Prater here. Tina Miller's in the audience today.
Hey, Tina.
Rather than here on the set. Boy, we're talking about winners and winning, and do we have winners and winning right here? Bob, take it away.
Larry, you alluded to the fact that you grew up in Kern County, so all the way. So where did you go to school?
Went to Arvin High School.
You went to Arvin High School. Where did
Bakersfield
you
College.
Okay.
University of Oklahoma, and I had Dr. John Collins, who's just a phenomenal teacher here. He got me admitted to Stanford and to the University of California, Berkeley. But I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go back to my roots. So I went to the University of Oklahoma and got to go really meet my cousins back there. My dad is from a family of 15, and my mom's from a family of 12. So I got to meet my grandma and grandpa and reemphasize the history of the United States. My grandfather's name is Christopher Columbus Downham, and my great-grandfather's name is George Washington Downham.
Well, there we go. Do you come from a history of academia?
No. My dad and mom went to the 8th grade. My dad was 18 in the 8th grade. His mother passed away, so he and his twin and the other kids were parceled out to the brothers and sisters. So he had to work. So he only got to go to school when it either was snowing, the ground was too hard, or it was raining so hard. But he loved education. My mother loved education. And if you said you were sick, you had to get up, get dressed, and then if you were still sick, you got to go back to bed.
Okay. So what clicked in you when did you realize, hey, life might be different for me as we go forward?
When I went out at 8 years old to pick cotton. I didn't have to. Charlie Reisner picked people up, and my mom said, okay, here's your fried egg sandwich, and that's all you got to have, and you're going out at 5 with Charlie, and you're not coming back till 4 or 5. So you got to stay out there and hit it. So I went out with Charlie Reisner, wonderful man, and got out there and picked cotton for about a half hour, an hour, and made 15 cents, and I bought a Coke and a candy bar, and it was all gone. So I learned delayed gratification. And the day's work. And so I just knew from the very beginning, my mom emphasized education so much. She loved education. Ran into wonderful teachers all the way through, but especially Mrs. Daywalt, 3rd grade, and 8 years old. So this day, my 2 favorite numbers are 3 and 8. Oh. So they have standards, but what is the standard that makes a young Okie boy from Arvin want to excel and love education and want to give back? They don't measure that, and I get that from my family and coaches.
So my favorite, when he says one of his favorite numbers is number 8. 8 is oftentimes, especially in Scripture, it signifies new beginnings, and so it became a new beginning for you and your family going forward, I would imagine, and for all of the young men and women who you've been able to speak into. Tell us a few of the very best success stories, and Jim, I'd love for you to do the same. Tell us the very best success stories of young men or women who have come under you.
Okay, I hope I could get through this because I'm pretty tender-hearted and I cry. Well, we picked that class, and kids can volunteer for it, but it's pretty rigorous to get into it. It has to be an actual class. It's not after school. It is after school, but it's not a special made-up class. So one little girl was a Mixteco Indian, under 5 feet tall, say 4'10". She came in to see me with Diego Rivera braids. Mr. Hallam, I didn't do very well on the exam where we have a right. The Declaration of Independence, 2nd paragraph, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And she said, I didn't do as well, so I didn't make the team, but you said we could come in and talk to you. If we had the right stuff, if we really wanted to be on the team. Well, Mr. Hallam, can I tell you my story? I said, yeah. She says, I came in the 6th grade. I did not speak English. I did not speak Spanish. I spoke Mixteco. So they had to teach me Spanish to teach me English. And when I was there in 6th grade, I started taking the clarinet. I was first chair in 8th grade, and now I'm first chair at Arvin High School, 8th grade. And now I'm taking French. So I can speak 4 languages. Mr. Hallam, I didn't do well, but I won't let you down.
Wow.
She made the team.
Wow.
Yes. Coach White, the same question for you.
You know, it's pretty hard to pick out one. I think probably I can, like Larry, I might not get through this.
Yeah.
But in the movie, the touching part there is that of Jose Cardenas. That's the one the poem was written. Okay, he wrote the poem in the movie. But in reality, Jose was homeless as a 6th grader. His parents went back to Mexico, left him with two brothers. Pretty soon the two brothers says, I'm going back to Mexico too. Jose says, I'm not going. He's living in an apartment by himself, eating out of cans. I remember his bed having black widows underneath it. So Jose is in the special features in the movie. They took that part out. They filmed it. They gave me the credit for finding him, but the real credit, excuse me, went to Jim Price, the custodian. He had a 6th grade son that was friends with Jose in the 6th grade. Jim Price took him in, raised him as his son.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's there's so many that you can go back to. I had a little boy that had to sleep under the kitchen table because he didn't have a bed. He slept on the couch, but when his uncle got out of prison, then he took over the couch, stayed up all night. The young boy had to sleep in the kitchen under the table. So there's various, just over and over and over, you can have stories like this. But they touch our heart, all of them.
Oh, they break our hearts
Yes.
a bit, don't they?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
They really do.
Larry, I wanted to ask you. It seems to me like the students you teach out there at Arvin, coming from these backgrounds, they're like the real Americans. I mean, they have learned the core of what America is all about in its documents, in its founding philosophy. There seems to be such a trend to teach all that's wrong with America, and there is much to be criticized. But just share with me your sense of how these people feel about being Americans.
They love this country. They really do. And they work really hard. And I tell them in my poor Spanish, la llave de su futuro es educación. La llave de su futuro es educación. The key to your future is education. I tell them that at the beginning of the year, and I tell them after the competition is over, and they're sitting there with their parents, holding their parents' hands. Mm-hmm. And they are the American dream. And they can achieve, we tell them, you're the cream de la cream and you're the best of the best. And that's what you like, Coach White. You have to tell them, you can do it. Nobody's giving you anything. You have earned it. But sometimes when they do the local competition, and usually we win all 6 units, and then when we go to state, there's an amazing growth. And then they go to state and they do well. And we've gotten second in the state of California, 1,243 times, twice. And 2 years ago, we got to go to the Nationals for the first time as a runner-up in California, one of the largest states. And we got 11th in the nation.
Oh, my.
And we won the Western Division, which is Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, California, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. And they got a beautiful glass plaque. And they were very disappointed they didn't make the top 10. And then they went on, and it's just a wonderful experience. And they wind up being a family. And as Robert Ruckman, who's carried on since 2002, deserves all the credit. And really, I didn't really get to finish up of all the members of the community we bring in. We bring in attorneys. We bring in Cinda Bunton, Tony Hyder, Grover Walden, the different attorneys. We bring in 5 different attorneys and members of the community that come in and help us. Jose Morales, the head of the migrant program of the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, was my student, and he comes in, and you just call him up, they're ready to go. Christine Peterson from the Bakersfield, California, talks about free press. All the members of the community, the teachers and the administrators of the local schools come and help us. We have 60 to 80 outside people that come in, and our kids don't know how to really dialogue with adults. But when they finish, they say, Mr. Hallam, they were really nice, and he's an attorney, and he's really good, and he wishes us the best. And and then when they go and compete, and they see they can compete, as far as I can remember, every one of our students in the We the People team have gone on to 2 years and then 4-year universities, and they're really doctor, lawyers, Indian chiefs, and they're able to do just about everything, and they believe in themselves.
I have to ask, have you ever noticed any reaction of judges when you come on and it's an entirely Hispanic, team that they're a little surprised?
Yes, some it's an advantage because they say, wow, I can't believe that these Hispanic kids can perform and speak so well. The opposite can be when they don't enunciate as well. It can be a detriment to them. And I would say, truthfully, at the state, this is where we have a little trouble because those that do win, Amador Valley, the income is $70,000 to $90,000 a year. and we got second to them, and our income is $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is the vocabulary. But when they do listen to what they have to say, but you can't help when someone just speaks so well. And Alberta Valley deserves everything they get. But sometimes that can be a little bit held against us. Like with Jim, one of the other stories we had is we love brothers and sisters. We had a special ed student, an educably mentally retarded child or whatever, wanted to be on the team. And we go, oh my gosh, guys, can we really let a special ed student into the class? We had to go to the special ed teachers. They said, yes, he can be. His mother was reticent because he'd been special ed all his life. We let him on the team. His sister was at UCLA, Regent Scholar, and she wanted him on the team. And he turned out to be a savant,
Wow.
a current events savant. Mr. Hallam, did you happen to pick up the New York Times today and see what's going on at the Washington Post? And I said, no. What about it? And every time he would answer it at the local and then the state, I'd go. And every time he was right on.
Right.
And it was amazing that we stuck to our guns. And,
What has he gone on to do?
He's gone on to go to the school, and truthfully, I don't remember whether he has finished or not, but he
that's
had the
amazing.
stuff. But that was an amazing story. I should go check. It was just an amazing story on that, which is really interesting.
Well, here we go. McFarland just to the north of us, Arvin just to the south of us, and two miracles going on, and ongoing miracles. I mean, it just keeps growing, and the momentum keeps going, and we are blessed to have guys like this
Yeah.
in our midst.
I can't think of anything that we could have done today that could inspire our community. And seriously, men and Cheryl, this has inspired me greatly. And so thank you so much for taking your time.
Yeah, I think
very
maybe
much.
Coach White might talk about the change of the
We got 30 seconds.
the motto of McFarland now, and what the emblem is of McFarland.
Oh.
now.
Well, if you can zero in on this, we now have a new city logo. It's a runner, a silhouette of a runner running through the field, and underneath it, it's tradition, unity, and excellence, and that's what we're
There we
striving
go.
to do, and to be in McFarland now. It has changed the city. This city logo is a couple of years old now, but we've got rid of the heartbeat of agriculture. We don't even have cotton anymore out there. It's all trees and grapes and this type of thing.
Gotta go.
And so it had to go. So.
Well, everybody, this has really been something. Bob, thanks for being
Thanks
my
again.
partner here, and be back next week with Tina. God bless and stay strong, everybody.